Hello students, welcome back to our discussion on the classification of animal kingdom. In this session, that is Animal Kingdom Part 6, we are going to discuss the classification of chordates. Chordates has two groups, Acrania or Craniata, and the other one is Craniata. So we are going to take up the classification of Acrania and then we'll start with Craniata as well. It has two superclasses, species and tetrapoda. We are going to discuss species in this session and tetrapoda in the coming sessions. Phylum Chordata has three very unique characteristics which differentiate it from the other phyla. First of all, the presence of notochords. All the chordates have a notochord which may be present either throughout the entire life or during some stage of early embryonic development. It may or may not be replaced by vertebral column in later stages. Second is the presence of nerve cord which is dorsal in position and hollow. And the third unique characteristic is paired gill slits, which are present on either sides of the pharynx at some stage of their life cycle. They may or may not be functional in the adults. This diagram shows a basic body plan of the chordates. As we can see, there is a firm, flexible rod called notochord, which is made up of specialized cells that develop into the endoskeleton in vertebrates. Then there is a hollow tube above the notochord, dorsal in position, which is the dorsal nerve cord. It develops into the spinal cord and brain in the vertebrates. There are out pockets in the pharynx, the pharyngeal pouches, the portion of the digestive tract between the mouth and the esophagus, which become gill chambers and gills in aquatic chordates. But in terrestrial chordates, they develop into jaws, inner ear, and tonsils. The position of the tail is post-anal. It is located posterior to the anal opening. Let's have a look at some of the general characteristics of chordates. Their body is bilaterally symmetrical, metamerically segmented, and triploblastic in origin. That is, it develops from three distinct germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. They have a true coelom, that is a body cavity lined by mesoderm, which may be enterocoelic or schizocelic in nature. The enterocoelic coelom develops from the pockets growing from the archenteron, whereas schizocelic coelom develops by the separation of mesoderm tissues. A tail post-anal in position usually projects beyond the anus at some stage of the life cycle and may or may not persist in the adult. A cartilaginous or bony, living and jointed endoskeleton is present in majority of the vertebrates. Pharyngeal gill slits are also present in some stage but may or may not be functional in the adult. Digestive system is complete with presence of digestive glands whose secretion aids in digestion. The excretory system consists of proto or meso or metanephric kidneys. Protonephric are the most basic of the three excretory organs that develop in vertebrates. They correspond to the first stage of kidney development. They consist of 7 to 8 primitive tubules and a pronephric duct. The tubules soon degenerate, but the pronephric duct persists as the mesonephric duct, succeeded by the mesonephros, which in fish and amphibians remains as the adult kidney. Mesonephros consists of 70 to 80 tubules induced to form by the mesonephric duct. The mesonephros eventually degenerate, but a few tubules and the mesonephric duct persist and form anterior portion of permanent kidneys in fishes and amphibians. But in reptiles, birds, and mammals, it atrophies and for the most part disappears rapidly as the permanent kidney, that is the metanephros, begin to develop. Metanephros becomes the adult kidneys and ureter of mammals, birds, and reptiles. The blood vascular system is of closed type in which the blood never leaves the network of the capillaries. Heart is ventral in position with dorsal and ventral blood vessels. Hepatic portal system is well developed. It is a system of veins comprising the hepatic portal vein and its tributaries, which are responsible for directing blood from parts of the gastrointestinal tract to the liver. The sexes are separate with very rare exceptions. Phylum Chordata has been divided into two groups. The first group is Acrania or Protochordata, and the second group is Craniata or Euchordata. Group Acrania has derived its name from the combination of two Greek words. A means absent and cranion means head, that is, those animals which do not have a head. Group is also known as Protochordata because protos means first and chorde means cord in Greek, that is, those animals which have the first or the most primitive cord, that is the notochord. The animals of this group are primitive or lower chordates, which are small in size. About 2,000 species of this group are known till date. They are exclusively marine inhabited. They do not have any appendages or exoskeleton. There is no cephalization, that means they do not have a head or skull or brain. Their coelom is anterocelic in origin, that is, it is formed by a fusion of pouches budded off from embryonic archintron. The notochord may persist throughout life and is not replaced by a vertebral column. The jaws are absent. Pharynx consists of permanent gill clefts. A groove on the ventral surface of pharynx known as androstyle is present. Heart, whenever present, is without any chambers. There are no red blood corpuscles in the blood. The kidneys are protonephric in nature, that is most primitive type. Sexes may be separate or united. Reproduction is asexual as well as sexual, and the gonoducts are usually absent. The second group of Phylum Chordata is group Craniata or Euchordata. They are higher chordates which may be aquatic or terrestrial inhabited. They are mostly large in size. As the name Craniata of the group itself indicates, they have a distinct well-developed head in which the brain is protected by a skull or cranium. Vertebral column, jaws and exoskeleton are present. They usually have two pairs of appendages. Coelom is schizocelic in origin, that is, it develops by the splitting up of mesoderm. Notochord is replaced by a vertebral column. The pharyngeal gill clefts persist or may disappear in the adult. The androstyle is absent. Heart is always present, which is made up of 2, 3, or 4 chambers. Blood has red blood corpuscles. Kidneys are meso or metanephric. The sexes are always separate and gonoducts are always present. Only sexual reproduction takes place in them.